Hello, Andy.
Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are.
Yes,
We just
we are both evening.
both evening. I'm going to Phoenix tomorrow morning, and it's an hour later already. They have most of the year because Arizona doesn't have daylight savings time. So pretty much most of the year we're in the same time until the winter. And now my daughter lives in Mesa, Arizona.
Okay.
So we're going to see Elton John tomorrow night at the stadium.
Oh, you are.
Oh,
Yeah, we
is
got
this his
tickets.
list? Is this
Hi,
his
John.
list?
Hey, Morris.
That's John Archibald.
John Archibald, my goodness.
No.
That name rings a bell.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey, guys, that's got to be Gary and Andy.
You're right,
Yes.
it is.
And Morris?
Yeah.
And
Well,
then-
fortunately, it puts up, this little thing by your picture with, You're-
Oh, I see that now.
you've got J Arch, but
Yeah.
I would have recognized you anywhere.
uh,
Yeah. So, yeah, it's still a little early. There's usually there were 2 or 3 guys that told me they wouldn't be able to come on. Andy was one of them, didn't think he was going to make it.
Yeah, I don't know why that was, but I wasn't sure, but
Yeah.
I have it on my calendar and it buzzed me, so I'm.
Yeah. Well, one of the mistakes I made when I sent out the notice, and somebody that's much more careful than me noticed that I sent out the notice and said the meeting was at 8 a.m. and so
8 a.m.?
yeah, so I
don't think so.
quickly changed it and sent out another notice.
Yeah.
But
I-
yeah, Mark
I do a
Bass.
lot- I do a lot of videos and I'm usually like 11 at night and I make big mistakes with dates and stuff.
Oh, good. Here comes Ron Weller.
oh, wow.
No, he should change his name to Vic Mature.
Yeah.
Yes, good memory, Andrew.
Get your camera on, Ron.
Camera's not on, okay. Da.
Bottom left-hand corner.
Ah,
Now I gotta get all adjusted here. I got a bad back and I'm icing it.
Matt, over here.
Oh,
Oh, that's better. That's better. So how's everybody
The
doing?
camera's not on.
oh,
Turn off some lights back there.
This is weird. I still have this join the meeting thing in the middle of my screen.
well, join it then.
I think I'm in the meeting, but apparently it doesn't know that for some reason.
Well,
Is it
one
true?
of the differences, Andy, this meeting versus previous ones is I've now, when I set up the meetings, I auto start recording
Right,
and you have to join it. You have to acknowledge that, you're being
did that.
recorded.
I did it. I did that.
Yeah. And,
But it's giving me a thing that says Zoom, leave meeting, cancel, sign in, and so I cancel. I hit sign in, and it knows who I am. But
well, you shouldn't have to sign in.
yeah, but then I try and close it, and then it goes back to this thing that says, "Well, we'll see what happens as it fills up the." Are you still there?
We're here.
Hey, you're clear. You sound good. You look good.
Yep.
Yeah,
Here comes Val Jansetti.
we had a whole bunch of rain here a couple days ago, and we don't get any rain, so it's been
There's Val.
been a
Hey,
godsend.
Val.
I don't see him.
You don't see him?
No,
Come on, Andy. Come on, Andy.
It's
Now I
Ron
see
that's
him.
having trouble.
But all I see is, let me see something here. Let me full screen. Let me see. There we go. That's better. I
And
just
where
have
did
some-
Ron go?
I'm here, I can't get my video working here.
Hey, Ron, on the
Yeah.
bottom of your screen, on the bottom of the, black area screen,
Yeah,
the second from the left button is for video.
yeah,
If you click that thing, it'll let you choose, the camera, or maybe it's set on the wrong camera. I don't know if you have more than one.
Should show a picture of a camera, a red picture of a camera with a line through it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Click on that.
I am, and it's just not doing anything.
Did you plug your camera in? Or is it on your laptop? Mine's on my, I have one on both computers.
How do we really know it's you?
Just take my word for it.
That's a dead giveaway. No pop, no, I'm sorry.
Well. But, no, I'm
This is terrible. I have more.
here by the
chins.
grace of God and my wife. Because
Yeah,
this is our
Yeah.
52nd anniversary today.
happy anniversary,
52nd.
brother.
Thank you. So we went out to eat and had to be back home by, 10 to 8. So I could start the meeting.
Good
So
for
That
where
you.
did you go to
picture
eat?
of you two was awesome.
I remember when that was taken.
Yeah,
That was in the newspaper, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I didn't take it, did I?
I don't know. We'll say you did, and you did a great job. You might have.
I have over 65,000
Bob Burrell.
65,000 images. in my-
Oh, my gosh, Bob.
Here in a second.
Hey, honey,
Here.
that's Stephen.
Yeah. Bob.
Move your camera, Bob. Move your camera.
Yeah.
He's working on something. Oh, he doesn't have his audio yet.
Bob, can you hear us?
No.
Shit.
I know Pete LaBella said Ron Herzog might join us tonight.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
They have more chins than a Chinese phone book.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Bob, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I just see you though, Morris.
Okay, we can only see from your lip down.
Move the camera. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to hold it up like this, I guess.
Put it on a book.
What's that?
Put it on a book or something.
Yeah, about 8 books.
Okay, I got it.
Why can't I get everybody in this picture?
Did
I
you hit
don't
the
know.
full screen, upper left-hand corner, full screen? There'll be something there that says full screen. There's only 7 of us. And Weller's being.
And Walker. I'm still working on it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Bunch of 70-somethings. This is,
So true.
Okay,
I hear somebody's dialing in just audio.
oh, I need participants.
Hello.
somebody else just comes coming in by phone.
Hello,
Hello. Who are you?
dialed in. Good, this is Mark Masterton.
Oh, hi, Mark. How are you?
Good, how are you guys doing?
All right. You just dialed in with your phone, right?
Good, yeah.
Okay,
Cell phone.
good. It's working. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
just,
it's the easy way to do it. You just
yeah,
well, I didn't do the passcode or anything like that. I just pushed the buttons and it worked.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, we got 8 of us.
So let's go. What's that?
I said we have 8 of us so far.
Oh, good.
I don't know whether you can see on your cell phone who else is in the meeting or not.
And not.
Okay, well,
No.
Gary Jones is here. I am Morris, Andy Ableys, John Archibald, and Val Judsetti, and Ron Weller,
And Bob Burrell.
All right.
and Bob
Yeah,
Burrell.
thanks, John.
Here you go.
Now, good evening, gentlemen.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Nicola coming on?
Work matter now.
Morris?
Andy, as usual, is taking up half my screen.
told you, I have more chins in the Chinese phone book. What do you expect?
I enjoy your travel log, Andy.
Thank you.
It's good to always, it's
I'm
always
going-
good to know where you are.
I'll be in Phoenix. I'll be in Phoenix at noon tomorrow.
You'll be where?
5-hour drive.
Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix.
Phoenix, Arizona.
You going over there to vote again?
I'm going to watch. I'm going over to. They're having a little trouble. Yes. No, I'm going to see Elton John at the stadium tomorrow night.
John
My
Cole
daughter.
is coming in.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
And my daughter got his tickets.
I could still only see 5, get 4
Now
guys.
you should have 6 and 2
Well, we
blank.
got 9 now, counting Mark, who's just is a symbol of a cell
John,
phone.
move your camera down a little bit so you can see your face. All I see is your. There, a little bit. That's it.
There. Oh,
There
no,
you
that's
Too
too
much.
much.
go. There it is. Right there. Stop.
No. We,
John, you're better looking now than you were at the fraternity.
John, are you in that position because you want people to look up to you?
No, I was having some technical difficulty here. At least my wife was. I'm not much on these computers.
Gee,
I punch in the right, supposedly the right passwords and nothing comes through. I don't know what the heck's going on.
Well, you just disappeared.
Yeah, I did.
No, I can see.
You
it.
just
No, he's here. He's
Oh,
still there.
there's Dave.
Yeah, I'm here.
Ah. Dave Brock just came in.
Mhm.
where'd you go, John?
I'm here.
You're not.
He's in the middle now.
Not in the- Oh, there he is.
What are you in your PJs, Andy?
Oh,
It's like
oh,
PJs.
I have my name tag on my real estate name tag. So I know, so I know who I am. It's getting bad. Seriously, it is getting bad.
We can't really be sure it's Ron Weller.
Yeah, I'm here.
Ron,
Hey, I have some somber news. My brother-in-law, Danny Ulmer, has lost his hearing. And of course, he won't be joining us tonight, and he doesn't know if he'll get it back. And he said only time will tell. So keep him in your thoughts and prayers. And if you
Yeah.
have his email, maybe you can send him something. So,
yeah,
What
I watched the
happened?
Picture.
I don't know. He had hearing issues and they think now something may be fluid in his ears. And he's, of course, frustrated and it's very challenging, but he can't hear anything.
Can you share his email?
Oh, we're back.
Sure.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe you could probably get
Oh, we got phone.
get something you could type in over the video.
Or just tell us?
Yeah, if you're ready, I can give it to you.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
All right, all small letters, D Ulmer 01@gmail.com.
thank you.
Yeah. So,
But you know what, you still.
I'm the old man of the group. Give it to me one more time. D. Ulmer.
D Ulmer 01@gmail.com.
B as in boy.
Yeah, I got it.
With anybody from, that she works with.
D Ulmer, Diane Ulmer, yeah.
E. Ulmer.
There would have been somebody.
D01@gmail.com.
And, oh, she's just moved up.
Do you guys see everybody that's in this group on your screen?
No, we can't see Ron or Mark Masterson.
I see 4 or 5 guys. I can't see
Yeah.
everybody.
All right.
Do you see
You should-
Gary
you should
Jones?
have- You should have 8 people in your
Can you
video.
see me, Bob? Gary?
I see Gary, yeah.
Okay.
You have to go up to view and hit
Everybody,
gallery.
everybody give Bob the finger.
Well, I can only see 3 of you, so that's not so bad.
Go up to the right-hand side where it says view and click on that and click on gallery.
Okay, up in the right, I had it. You can tell I zoom a lot. Participants,
I mean, Bird, that's your room.
Where's LaBella? Is LaBella coming on?
What's that?
Usually he does. Sometimes he comes in late.
It says there are 10 participants, but I only got 4 pictures.
Right.
They should have a full screen. Thing says full screen. Look around the top somewhere. Says, what are you using? A laptop or a computer?
An iPad.
You and Dave Rock just changed views.
Yep, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Ron.
There
Hey,
he is.
there he is.
All right.
There he is. Move your camera down a little bit so, because we're seeing, you're filling up half the frame. Well, maybe that's a good idea.
So listen, I have a suit.
So now, here's the story. You got, Ron, your picture's up, and you've got a set open space next to it, no picture in it. That's interesting.
Who?
What do you think that is?
Who?
Ron Weller.
What?
See that now?
Hey, Ron, can you hear?
Yeah.
us? You can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can hear us and we can hear him. He's just not
Right.
getting it.
Hey,
Ron, what are you having to eat?
Not sharing it.
I'm eating Rolaids.
Oh, okay.
Roll legs.
Who's causing that?
With this group, I could understand that.
Hey, I have a story for you.
Go ahead.
I went to get my eyes inspected today to get new glasses. First time in 5 years. So the first place I tried to get in 5 months ago, I couldn't. So the second place said, yeah, we'll take you in November. So I'm there today, and the ophthalmologist is looking at my eyes, about 35 or so years old. And I said to him, where you from? He goes, Nebraska. I said, oh, where? He goes, Scotts Bluff. I said, you gotta be kidding me. I was thinking Lincoln or Omaha. No. He said he was born and raised there. His last name is Blehm, Blehm. His family lived in a farm right outside of Scotts Bluff. He went to optometry school in Philadelphia, met his wife, and now they live about 30 miles in Pottsville, the home of Yingling beer. So what are the odds on that?
Huh,
Pretty amazing.
yeah, yeah.
You must be in a, Matt, you must be in a canyon or something. I hear an echo.
No, he's got a double
He's got a
Right.
double feed.
Yeah.
feed. So, but
Gotta
if I
cut
were
one
you,
out.
I wouldn't turn it off because, they don't know which one you turn off.
Well,
So I met a guy at one of our HOA meetings. He comes up to me and he goes, "Oh, so you lived in Scotts Bluff?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, do you know such?" I'm from Scotts Bluff. It's my HOA meeting here in California, and he mentioned a guy who had a motorcycle shop. I think I might have mentioned this before. And then he
Oh.
made,
That was Rich Selly.
Rick Selly,
yeah,
Rick Selly.
yeah, and he had like three shops around, and he did very well with his business. I don't know if he still does it or not. So it isn't such a small world sometimes.
Well,
Rich is pretty
Selly,
much out of it. His son Rito kind of took it over.
little back history, Rick Selly was recruited by the University of Oklahoma, him and Carbonero, which also ended up at Hiram Scott. And they were nationally ranked because until they got thrown out of school, but
minor things. Yeah, well, here's one for you. I had a moment of insanity several months, about 2-3 months, and then fortunately 3 women got me out of it. So
I don't even want to know what that's about.
No,
That's past me.
I decided I got recruited by some people in town to run for the Board of Education.
Yeah, how'd it go?
So I went, well, there were 10 people on actually 13 people that were running, one of which was me. And 3 of them were women and the rest were men. The top 3 vote getters were women.
Yeah.
So the women came out to vote and they said, we're electing women, no men. And that's what they did.
So how do you feel about that? You
I'm
gonna try-
okay.
You're gonna try again?
I said, I'm okay with it. It's, it doesn't bother me.
Want me to
Did I want to do it? Yeah, I wouldn't have minded doing it again for a while. Because I've done it before, but I was not, crushed or heartbroken or anything because I didn't get elected. So, no, that's okay with me.
Talking about elections, I spent the last 4 days in California. Now you can vote on 4 days in person. So they
And you
have to
voted all of them?
They what?
You voted on all 4 days?
No, I was sitting behind the chair giving out the stickers I voted. And my wife was next to me, she was taking them in. And it's all by computer now. They have, everything goes through laptops. We had 5 laptops and we have 5 people in front of the laptops. And when you come in, you fill a card out, because we don't ask for everybody reaches for the driver's license. We don't need that. Fill out the card, they sign the card, they bring it over to the laptop. The girls on the laptop asks them name, types in the name. They have a copy of the signature, and if the signature doesn't look like the signature on the card, then they're going to ask them more questions. We didn't have that. We didn't have any fraud. But and then they go and they vote. And instead of getting an actual ballot, you put it in a machine, and it prints out everything that you voted for. That is just a marker. Then you bring it to a box. You drop it in the box, and the box is with one of those square boxes, with that looks like nothing, but the computer can read it, and it goes up into Riverside, which is the county seat, and they count them there probably within 5 minutes. First day we had 31 people, the second day 47 people, the third day about the same amount, and we had 500 on Tuesday.
Wow.
And it was pouring rain. We don't have rain here. It was pouring rain, and they still showed up.
Andy, what did they pay you for that?
$20 an hour. Lori and I made $2,000 in 4 days.
Yeah. In New Jersey, people that worked the polls were paid $300 for 8 hours
Wow.
Well,
because they can't get people to do it.
we much more than I was there Friday morning to help set up, and that was 3 hours. And then the other ones was, we were there from,
No, because I asked him tonight if he's talked to her, and he said no.
so it was 8 hours on Saturday, 8 hours on Sunday, 8 hours on Monday, and then we worked from 7 until 8. So we worked almost 12 hours on Tuesday. And then
Well, that'll pay for one of your concert tickets for Elton John.
my daughter bought it for my wife's birthday. Her birthday's coming up on Thanksgiving this year. We have to drive. We're going to spend about $200 in gas driving back and forth. But the good news
So
is
Andy, you weren't the guy in California that won the 2.1 billion then, were you?
everybody was calling me, texting me. Is it you? Is it you? I said, no, of course it's not. And if it was, I wouldn't tell you, But
Well, I know you bought tickets.
I bought $40 worth of tickets, and then I was in a pool that had over $400 worth of tickets at $10 a pop. So I actually bought
Did you
more than
win
that.
Did you win anything? Did you win it?
Funny, I heard you. The answer to that question is nothing significant. I think I won about $8 for 2 tickets. But as we're leaving after the polls closed on Tuesday night, one of the workers there, what they call, there's 2 lead guys, and one of the lead guys gave everybody a $10 scratcher. I won $60 on the scratcher. He's the only one who won anything. So it was kind of funny. It was ironic. Made more money at doing that than I did on the damn lottery. But I buy 5 tickets for every drawing. So both Mega Millions and I've won probably over the last year about $1,500. I'm not ahead. No, I'm not ahead. I am definitely not ahead. Don't ever think it's gonna take a jackpot for me to be ahead. Started
Well,
playing in
but-
1985 in New York at the New York Lottery, and I won $200 there once.
Yeah, Andy, one time I was in a club that sported Pop Warner football and other youth sports in North Brunswick. And this is probably 30 years ago now. And every Christmas, we'd give out guys lottery tickets for the pick 3 in New Jersey.
Yeah,
And so we sent one guy down. He bought 40 lottery tickets, all the same number. And, instead of different numbers, every lottery ticket was the same number, and that number hit. And we had
No
40
kidding.
lottery tickets for the
Yeah.
same
Wow.
winners.
was it straight or
Each
straight
guy won
box?
a couple $100.
Was it straight or straight box? Probably straight box.
I don't remember,
Yeah.
but it was a couple $100 for each guy.
Yeah,
But
they're very, in California, there's a rule that if you hit for $599, you can go to a supermarket or that's where you generally have to go, and they'll cash it in for you. $600 up to Sacramento. So I hit for $613 and I couldn't cash it in, and I had to send it to Sacramento at the beginning of the pandemic. Normally it takes 6 to 10 weeks to get your money. 18 weeks I waited. 18 effing weeks. Get that stupid $600. I said, I would have given you the $13. Just give me the $5.99. I'll be happy.
yeah,
No, they can't do it. So I didn't get I was really pissed because they kept first saying it'll be a few weeks. Every time I called in, it was 2 weeks out. They all work from their
Hey,
home.
Morris,
yeah.
Morris, did that guy that won the money, or him or her? That's up by your area, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, which one?
No, Andy.
The 1
No, it's my area. He's up by Pasadena where the Rose Parade is. Altadena is right next to
The ocean.
no, not near the ocean. It's
Isle
inland.
Sage?
No, but Pasadena he's not far from Pasadena. He's probably running through the street naked going, I won. He's the smartest thing to do. Shut your mouth. Don't even, till you turn it in, nobody needs to know, except you might want to call Bella or somebody. He's had 4 winners that his company. So if I did hit, I'd probably call him. Maybe that's such a good idea. I owe him some money from bowling, but
Or you could tell us on Zoom.
yeah, sure I could.
Share the wealth.
Thing is if you hit it on a weekend, everything's closed, so you have to find a way. I'm thinking about where I'm gonna put that ticket. So you really gotta keep your mouth shut. 'Cause, I have a safe, but that would be nothing for somebody if you knew it was in there.
I'd like to have that problem.
Yeah. 2.01, what's that, 2,400,000? Is that what that was? Is that, I don't know. I'm not a
See that I saw that California doesn't tax lottery winnings, which shocked me. I thought it'd be about.
Yeah, only the federal government, you get no tax. There are some states, I think Indiana has no tax whatsoever. But the feds.
California does.
Yeah, the feds always get their hand in there regardless.
Yeah, it's a mere 37%.
Yeah,
It's your
Well,
fair share.
that's why I give isn't our club a 501c3?
Yes.
I don't think so. A Square Dance Club's a 501c3. So anybody who comes there, and we're $10 for a dance now. And some places like San Francisco, $15 for a square dance. It's ridiculous. When we first started 30 years ago, it was $3. I'm not so sure that's came up.
So are you the reason it went up?
You laughed. Did you know the market went up 1,200 points today?
Yeah,
The most it's ever gone up in like 40 years or some
yeah,
crazy.
good thing.
That's probably a good thing. They're saying that because they feel that the Fed has been doing the right things to get people,
Yeah. Of course,
Quite
money will go
frankly-
down 800 points.
Yeah, HSC, I feel that Wall Street, they should just have a big crap table. have the stocks on the table and go for them because what goes up and down like crazy is this. It's,
That's
Be glad you're not,
exactly what a
you
day
don't have
trader
it all in
wants.
Bitcoin.
The problem you have is that market's getting bid up by professionals to draw in the small guys.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
guys get in, and then that market's gonna go down again.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's a
Right,
game
it's-
they play all the time.
It's automatic. They have automatic purchasing. It's, it could literally be, like you said, Dave, literally be, let's see the stock at $4.60 a share. You could hit the button by the time it got there for you, because you're just an individual, it could be higher or lower, significant.
Now, listen, companies in, by the stock exchange pay big bucks to have lines directly into the stock exchange. And not only that, to be the closest. If you're across the river in New Jersey, you're gonna get beat up bad. And they go in and they rent space and they put in their lines, so that it's literally milliseconds make a difference.
Yep.
They pay big bucks for that.
Yeah,
Let me
we
tell
have we have a security line straight from my administrative assistant right into the market. But
Yeah.
the thing that we always try to do is, if we had a stock, we try to get, more than a round lot so that we could get a better price on the stocks. If you go in and try to buy, let's say 50 shares, you're gonna get killed from fees. But if we can wrap it all together and get 1,000 shares, then you get a better price,
Yeah.
fee price.
Too bad LaBella's not here. He says that all the time. He sold his company and he's taking short vacations and getting longer every week. And I have some money with him, not a lot, but I've had it since I.
You mean you had some money with him?
No.
He is on vacation. Didn't he send you a note that says, thanks, Sandy?
No, he doesn't, but he doesn't charge me anymore. So I don't have a whole lot of money. They're not gonna make a lot of money on me, so.
Yeah, I don't even look at the market anyway because I sold my app to my partner. As long as he sends me a check every month, I'm happy. So,
There you go.
and I'm done with that crap.
Yeah, well, my partner is Uncle Sam, unfortunately, and he
Uh,
takes it every month.
Yeah.
They overpaid my wife for the first year on her Social Security. They paid her $200 a month more. They called and said they wanted the money back, and they said they were going to take it all at once. And we said, "No, you're not." And she called and she said, "No, I want it amortized." So we're getting $200 a month less. It's not a lot of money, but it's something that I wasn't counting on. Not that we have fixed incomes, and so I think it's March over. But he would take it all at once. I said, "Yeah, then you would take our entire amount the whole month." No way. Nope.
Well, Biden's giving you a big pay raise next month in your Social Security.
That's right, 9%.
They've already designed ways to take it away.
9%. I'll use it. I just bought a car, and it's more than I thought it was going to be.
Another
car.
vet?
What kind did you get?
I bought a Hyundai Santa Fe, 2019. I got it from CarMax, and I thought I put 10K down, and I got a $380 a month payment. And I probably should have taken something less, but
That's a great car. I had one of those. It's a great car.
Fabulous. I'm taking it to Phoenix tomorrow. It'll be on my first long trip, and it has stuff on there I never even realized it would, whatever. I didn't expect it. The thing where you go in a lane, if you got a lane, and it pulls you over into the middle, and as you go around corners, it helps you go, and not quite, hand-free driving, but close. And every time a car passes you, it beeps, and it comes up behind you in the parking lot, it beeps. And it's a good car. I like it. And I'm getting about 5 miles a gallon better than I did on my Maxima. 5 miles better. We just paid, I paid $4.74.9 at Costco for gas yesterday. I don't know what you guys are paying.
We're just under $3 a gallon now.
Yeah, I was 378 or 379
Yeah,
Buck a
yesterday.
gallon difference in California.
yeah. Now I got a car for you if you need a car. Rosemary's got I think it's a 2020 Lexus RDX
Okay.
luxury model.
Is
So
it for,
far she's had it for 2 years and she's got 4,900 miles on it.
Oh, my
oh,
gosh.
She'll add
shit.
another probably, and that's because we took a trip to Vermont and back.
Otherwise it would have been off 2,000.
She typically puts about 2,500 miles a year on it. And it's
Wow.
garaged. It's up for lease. I'm gonna sell it when it comes up for lease. I'm gonna buy it and then sell it. Cause I don't care for the car. It's not big enough. And but you know, we did the same thing with the last car she had. And, you know, I bought it out and sold it and worked out well. So
We have
September,
two
if you need a
Santa Fe's now.
car,
We have two Santa Fe's. We have a 2014 and a 2019. And what a difference between the 4-year
Oh,
difference.
costly.
Big difference.
yeah.
So
I have a 2010 Lexus. It's got 177,000 miles on it. And I saw that my cost for the Michigan tab for next year. Last year it was $300. This year it's $309. So my car is a year older. It's got 177,000 miles on it, but they charge you. Had I known that when I bought this car a couple of years ago, they charge you on the MSRP originally.
Yep.
So a friend of mine just bought a 2005 Bentley. And he said his was $279. And I said, I want to see that. He called me in about 2 hours later and he said, I didn't want you to lose any sleep. My tag's going to cost me $729. And I said, now I feel better. 309 doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah, some states do it based on a
Welcome to the
property
great
tax.
state of Michigan.
I have a GMC Sierra pickup. It's an 18 and just turned 22,000 miles. It's in the shop now getting
Wow.
oil and
That's amazing.
everything changed. Yeah, that's great pickup truck. And Jeanette's driving a Lexus ES 350. And that just turned to 2020 and it just turned 22,000, I guess, 20,000. And so, you know, we don't drive that much unless we get down to Washington, DC, down that area. But no, and I got 34 mile a gallon. We were just down there last weekend. Yeah, and I was traveling 75, 80. And they're great automobiles, Lexus. They really are.
Yeah,
We're not gonna keep
my
this.
beautiful Lexus gets 13 miles to a gallon.
What
Well, my
model?
blue pig, if I was lucky. if I got-
My LS 460 around town gets 13 miles to a gallon, and I got to use premium. So I call it my land yacht.
What year is it?
2010.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, see, Jeanette can't drive one
I
of
picked
those.
I picked it up. I always wanted that car. Yeah, I always wanted that car. I bought it for $11,000 and I probably put another 11 in it, but it looks brand new. That thing will run for 300,000 miles. I don't think I'll be around that long, but it'll run that long.
It's no Datsun 1600.
Oh, God.
Oh, I love that car.
Yeah, I remember that.
Good.
I remember that from Scotts Bluff.
Oh, that was, Jan unfortunately told me 2 months after I bought that she was pregnant. That was quite the setback. So I don't even know if I had that car for a year because there wasn't any place to put Tracy.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was great. I love that car though. It was a
It's a
nice
good
car.
one.
Well,
It
this
was
is,
white,
this is
wasn't it
our,
white?
well, this is
The
our.
car was white.
Yeah.
Yeah, red
Cream color.
interior, black top.
Yeah.
Car cost $2,700, brand new.
That's what my blue cost. 3,100,
Yeah.
actually. 3,100.
My AMX was 2,800.
Yeah, do you still have that,
I
John?
always thought
No,
those,
I wish I
always-
did.
I always thought those looked like a bathtub turned upside down.
I know, I thought they were pretty sharp.
Of course you did. How long did you have that car, John?
5 years.
Uh,
Sold it to get a Volkswagen, and the guy sold it to, I didn't sell it to the dealer, sold it to a guy in town. And he wrapped it around a pole 2 weeks later.
Ooh. Did he survive?
Yeah, he was okay. Those cars back then had a lot of steel in them.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of rusty steel.
No seat belts, no airbags.
Yeah, I had a Triumph, and the passenger side, there was a hole, you can see the road where it all rusted up.
Flintstones.
For many years, I drove a motorcycle. I had a BMW K1200 LT. That was my last bike, and used to split lanes because it's legal in this state to do that, you know. And knock wood, I never had a problem. But it was fun driving it around during the summer, and sometimes even in the winter. But I paid, can you believe this, almost 20 grand for that bike. That was
Wow.
That was in 1999.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, Gary, you've got what, a gold wing?
Yeah, I have an 09 Goldwing.
How did you like it?
It has 69,000 on it, and I'm about to sell it. I can't hold it up anymore. It's about 950 pounds, so.
Yeah, you go onto a pavement, that blacktop, and you put the kickstand down, and you turn around and walk away, and all of a sudden the bike's going like that, and you go, holy shit, I gotta get back. I had somebody come and help me do that.
Yeah, I love that bike, and I just can't do it anymore, so. Yeah, I'm gonna be putting it up for sale, so. It's an 09. Know anybody wants it, good deal.
Free shipping?
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
All
sure.
you gotta do is come get it.
Yeah, okay.
It's free for me.
uh,
But no, I ride every Wednesday with a group called the Retreads. And we ride and we go out towards Pennsylvania, out towards Lancaster area, Maryland, Delaware, and have lunch and come back. We'll put 200 to 300 miles on a day. And you know, it's just a great thing to do.
Yeah, but Gary, didn't you have a long trip down to Texas or something for a week or?
Yeah, three of us, three other guys. We went to South Carolina at first, spent a week riding the back hills of South Dakota.
Oh,
So
must have been wonderful. Have you ever been to?
it's gorgeous down there.
You ever go to Sturgis?
No, that's more Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
And if you want to be near one of your closest 500,000 people, go to Sturgis.
Yeah.
This was what they call Wingding, which was Honda's big
Yeah.
rally. And we left South Carolina and drove to Dallas, Fort Worth area, spent a week. Then we went up to Oklahoma, Arkansas. We took another week coming back. So we've gone for like 3 weeks. It was a really great trip, really great trip. But, you know, as you get older, you can't do the things you used to do.
That's for sure.
Mhm. Hey, Bob, how was your shoulder? that you had operated on?
It's coming back. Actually, I was going to tell you guys about this. This is a PSA announcement. My whole back and everything is all screwed up, and I'm having trouble walking because I don't have much feeling in either of my feet. So my daughter turned me on to this. It's through a chiropractor, but it's called NUCCA, NUCCA. And I would recommend everybody look that up, see if you can find a doctor that does that. And what they do
Morris
is
looking it up right now.
this is a 4-month program, and then it tapers off as you need it for a tune-up. But if you've ever been to a chiropractor, they turn you and crack you and snap you back in place. But this is something where they have this gun that's got a little rubber tip on it, and they start with the neck and they shoot it on your neck. You can hardly feel it.
They pop
And
it. They pop it. They pop it like that.
it just hit the gut. Well, you don't feel anything. And so, well, the way it starts out is you go and you get x-rays from the back of your spine, the top of your head, the front. And so then you can see how screwed up your body really is, how much of alignment you're out. And so it shows you this green line where you should be. You could be 0.4 on either side out, and you'd still be considered in alignment. I had some that were 8.7, 7.6. I mean, on both sides. My hips were way out of alignment. And I just finished 3 weeks, and he said, when you're done with this program, you'll feel 10 years younger. He said, I think everybody should do it. You'll be shocked at how far you're out of alignment. Because your neck and your spine. What's that?
Does Medicare cover it?
Medicare pays for the visit. My supplemental picks up the other part. What it doesn't pick up is on I go twice a week. So the second visit, which I had today, after you do this 15 minutes with him, they then hook you up on the back of your neck and the base of your spine. And then they have some wires they plug into those 2 pieces of tape, and it sends signals through these wires to regenerate muscles and the blood flow and to stimulate. It's more like a stimulant. But 4 weeks ago, my neck was, what's that?
So it sounds like
4 weeks ago, my neck was.
Machine. Have you heard of a TENS machine?
A what?
TENS machine?
Yeah, that's
Where they
not
put
it.
it on
No.
there. And
That's not it.
No.
Now, I've been going to a chiropractor since I was 14. And
Well, you gotta really
I still
look
got-
this guy up. I think NUCCA.
I got it.
You can see a couple examples from guys on YouTube. You can look it up on Google, but the initial visit, I had to pay $250 for all the x-rays and all of that stuff. But my one foot was shorter than my right, and I think I will feel 10 years younger.
Does it work on anything else to get it?
No. No, I haven't asked them to stimulate anything else.
When I was
You should
14,
get a
I
female
had a
chiropractor.
problem in high school playing basketball and etc. And I went to an orthopedic surgeon. And with all the x-rays and all that stuff, he said, well, your one leg is shorter than the other. He said, we have to put a lift in it. So he put a lift in it, and it got worse. I went to a chiropractor from a neighbor across the street who had been to him. And he looked at the x-rays and said they put the lift in the wrong shoe. And when he got done with me, it used to take me 5 minutes to get out of bed to go to school. And when he got done with me, for 50 years, I never had a problem.
Oh, nice.
Now, I do only because of age, I guess, but no, I've started going back to a chiropractor, and she's helping me a lot.
You guys have,
Cracking.
you guys have a store called Good Feet in your area? We have a store here called Good Feet, and they put in some sort of one of those, whatever it is, insert. And I got them about 2 years ago, and they actually work. You know, nothing's helping me on my herniated disc, and they don't want to operate it because they said chances are 50-50, and I said, not good enough for me. So
No,
I've got three of those, and this guy, I'm telling you, Andy, go see one of these guys, and they'll straighten you out.
I have it saved in my phone, so I'll check it out.
I
Yeah,
want to go, my next step is to go get an MRI, just to see what's going on with the spine, whether it's compressing or whatever. And go back to her,
Peter,
see what she has, and
Hi, Andy.
get
Hi,
it
Peter.
straightened out.
Hey, Pete,
Sorry I'm late.
what
Oh.
else is new?
The procedure, the
Sorry, I
doctor's,
didn't mean to interrupt you.
procedures, the doctor doing for me is they're taking fluid out of my bone marrow, and they're mixing it with some other drugs or whatever, and they re-enter into where the damage is at. And so far, so good. So yeah, there's a lot out there.
You keep it up.
Yeah.
If
So,
it works for you, keep it up.
yeah.
Hang in there.
yeah.
I gotta leave because I had a session today. I'm really tired. I gotta get out of
All
here.
right, Dave.
Weller,
Yes, Dave.
have you heard from Redhead? Have you heard from Redhead?
A couple months ago.
I left him 2 phone calls the other day, and he hasn't returned, so I was wondering if something's wrong. Okay, all right, guys, have a good
All right,
day.
take care, Dave.
I'll talk to you.
Take care,
next week.
Dave.
Thanks.
Hey,
All
Dave.
right, good night, Dave.
Night, Dave.
Yeah,
Lower,
you know,
higher, to the
well,
right.
we're talking about the nerves, and Bob talking about the nerves over. In '99, I got Guillain-Barré, and I couldn't dress myself. I couldn't walk. Barely feed myself, and so forth. 6 months later, it eventually, for me, goes away. But I'm still numb to this day from just above my knees all the way down. And they tried electroshock at one point to see if they could stimulate the nerves, maybe to grow a little bit better. And when the woman doctor that was administering it, giving it to me, she put it up to something like 10 or 15 times normal. And I couldn't feel a thing. And she says, wow. When the doctor looks at you and says, wow, that's not a good thing.
No, it isn't a good thing.
So, but so I've got that numbness all the way down. My circulation's okay, fortunately. It just no feeling.
Yeah, I have that in both mine also, like 84 and 86%.
Yeah.
But this guy said eventually we're going to straighten that out.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that.
How
She
long
goes,
is the whole,
go see.
how long is the whole cycle?
What's that?
How long is the whole cycle from when you started to when he said you're going to be 100%?
Well, he says, I'm so far out of alignment that I'll never be 100%. My goal is just to get back to the golf course. But with like Morris, when you've got this numbness in your feet, do you stumble a lot?
Yeah.
I've fallen 3 times pretty bad.
All right.
And
Take
he
care,
said
Val.
first,
All right, see
first,
you.
See you, Val.
Bye,
Good night, Val.
Bye, guys.
you know,
Val.
you first have to get the neck and the spine straightened out before you can do the feet.
Right.
He says he's going to have to get a little more aggressive with my feet. I don't know what that means, but so far it's really mild. But
Uh-huh.
I would recommend this to anybody. But I'm only 3 weeks in. It's 4 months.
Okay.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah,
Pete,
no reason for sissies, huh?
Pete,
Peter,
did you tell me that?
Peter, you would be the perfect guy for this.
For what, Bob?
This I started this program through. It's called NUCCA, N-U-C-C-A. And it's through a chiropractor. And there aren't that many around that do it.
Hmm.
Hey,
But-
Pete,
I
did you,
have a meeting with my chiropractor on Monday at 10 o'clock, so I'll ask her about it.
yeah.
Yeah. But there
Hey,
aren't a
Pete,
lot
did
of
you
these
want her dog to
chiropractors
come in?
practices.
I invited Herzog. I spoke to him about it and we had a conversation about it and he said he'd think about it.
Okay.
Now he has he attracted a new lady friend who is a little bit to the opposite of him from someplace in Roswell, Georgia. So
Where does he live?
he lives in Bourne, Texas. I don't know
So
how
he
he
could-
connected with her or how that happened, but you know, going with Ron is a dangerous thing because he's lost.
Yeah, he has a bad history.
Very bad
Yeah.
history.
Well,
Very bad history. Yeah,
I mean, couldn't he find somebody in Texas?
I guess not. I don't know how the hell he found somebody in the middle of Georgia. You got to ask him that question.
Call the internet, that's all.
Yeah. You know, I get a kick out of him. He visited me about 5 years ago. I lose track, but he always has a new one. And after he loses one and fails him, but he's hanging in there. The son of a bitch is hanging in there. Hi, John.
How
God
you
bless.
doing, Pete?
What'd you
Bless
say,
him.
Bob?
But how's the shoulder doing?
Who?
Bob,
What's that?
how's
How's
the
the shoulder?
shoulder doing?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
It's getting better.
What'd you do?
I need to get, what's that?
What'd you do to your shoulder?
Oh, I fell down twice. One time I tore the rotator cuff and shredded the bicep in the front. So
Nice.
they had to cut that and then stretch it and put a screw in it. And,
Oh, God, that sounds like fun.
so far it hasn't popped the screw, so I guess I'm all right.
I
Well,
had
you know-
both of my shoulders from rotator cuff worked on.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and it takes about it took me 12 to 16 months to get back 100%.
Did you do those
Yeah.
fingers up the wall, Gary?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
pulleys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had both.
Pull down
sets
on,
done.
stretch it up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, stretch it up and the whole thing.
The door behind me is my best friend.
Yeah, I have the
Yeah.
same thing. I still have the
Going
pull,
on
you know? Yeah, I
the
did the same
stretching.
thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you did the same thing.
The bitch
Yeah.
getting old.
You know, when I went
Not
through
for
that
the faint of
operation,
heart.
I thought I was gonna die when I came out of surgery. I really did. He operated on me for 6 hours, ripped the labrum in 3 places and the rotator in 4.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
No, I had a tear. I did in the left end. I had the left done first. A couple of years later, I had the right one done about a year and a half ago.
I did the right one first. I did the left one second.
Oh, see, we did it backwards.
So So Peter, was that one of your bicycle riding expeditions?
No, I did a different thing on that when I hit the car.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that was good.
Yeah, I went right over
So
the top of it,
what
you
could-
know, I mean, just, and luckily the car on the road didn't run me over and make me roadkill.
Yeah,
No, then I only did my face.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No.
I've got about 3 jokes for that, but I'm gonna pass.
After that car accident, we had 90 people coming to the house for a party the next day.
Oh,
No question, I was unavailable.
hey, Bob, when's the last
Surprised.
time you played golf?
Last time I played,
Yeah.
about a year and a half ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And you're hoping to
yeah.
get back to it.
Yeah, that's the plan. But
Good.
until I get my feet working and
Yeah.
my spine straightened out, I can't do anything.
Maybe you
The
can start
shoulder
with
now is,
miniature golf.
what's that?
I said, maybe you can start with miniature golf.
Yeah, I can handle that. Yeah, I can handle that.
I played that game since I was 12 years old. I finally, about a year ago, because of rotator cuffs, couldn't do it anymore. Hope to get back like you,
Yeah.
to play occasionally, and at least. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I was playing 3 days a week and
On the tennis court, and that hasn't worked out well.
yeah. I told you should have taken up golf.
You said that, yeah. Yeah. I don't see you out there playing right now.
So maybe you could just go to pickleball. That might be more your speed now.
You mean play pickleball?
Yeah.
No, no, I'm not giving in yet.
Good for you.
I'm gonna get on my bike and keep going. Yeah,
How many miles a week do you ride, Pete?
I've been riding about 140, 150.
Wow.
Miles a week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ride 5
Well, he's
days
got
a
that
week.
he's got that younger wife that he has to keep up
You know, I
with.
gotta keep up, gotta keep up. I've been riding 25 to 35 miles a day, 5 days a week.
So how many miles is 20 minutes on a bike in the gym? Because I do that every day.
I don't count that. I do that down in the, I have a Peloton downstairs when the weather's bad. Do about 10 to 15 miles in an hour.
Okay, so I'm not getting much, but I'm sure feel fine. Depends on
Better than nothing.
what level you use.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
the
I-
amazing part, I used to ride at 16 to 18 miles an hour. Now I'm down to 13 or 14.
You
No,
love
I-
the wind.
It seems like the hills have gotten bigger.
And more with a slant, but yeah.
Yeah,
No, I get to the gym 5 days a week, and I start with a half hour on the bike before I get into stretching and doing all the other stuff.
I do it just the opposite. I do my weights and then I get on the bike, and I was guiding me there, has me walking backwards on the treadmill. He says you never walk backwards, and all those muscles need to be actually toned up. And I've been doing it now for about 2 months, and there's a difference. I feel different. You start really slowly, like 1 mile an hour, and you hold on to the
Right.
treadmill. But I'm doing 10 minutes now on that, and I moved it up to like almost 2 miles an hour now. And that's
The guy I go to the gym with, and we have for 20 years, he's 92.
wow.
Wow.
He's in better shape than I am.
That's cool, though.
that's
But
really
no,
good.
and he's a
Inspirational.
West Point graduate. Okay.
Ah.
But he's just a great guy, and then we go for coffee. I think that's the only reason we get to the gym is so we go for coffee.
Yeah, I'd go to Dairy Queen.
Yeah, John, I'm like you. I get up at the crack of 9 and go to
Yeah.
the bagel shop.
Yeah, I wish I would have stretched a lot more when I was younger. I wish I would have done that. You know,
Yeah.
women stretch all the time. Guys think they can just go out and play.
Where do you
Where
live?
do you live? Do you live in Idaho? John,
Yes, I'm in Idaho,
where?
Star, Idaho, outside of Boise.
Okay.
Ah.
I lived in Idaho Falls for 2 years.
Yeah, we had a little back and forth on, I told you I got into guns and I'd
Yeah.
never had a gun in my life.
Yeah.
And then you told me about some of the guns you had and
Right.
it was pretty fascinating.
Yeah, yeah.
I also liked watching your September meeting, and I sent you a little email if you hadn't seen it. And
Yeah.
what Pete said in the September meeting really hit home because I think Hiram Scott saved a lot of people and really made us better in so many ways. And it wasn't just books, it was meeting people from all over the country. It
Yeah.
was a chance to grow up. And I really liked watching that meeting and what you had to say, Pete, September.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think it saved my life. I really do. It
Mhm.
made, I
Saved-
was never a great early student. Not that I was a great student at Hiram Scott, but I was a lot better. And
Yeah.
I
Saved
always,
your- Saved your life, made my life miserable, Peter.
it saved my life.
no, I always thought Hiram Scott did me a wonderful favor. I mean, with all the things that we did out there.
Yep.
It just wasn't books, it was
Right.
the traveling, the meeting the guys, starting the fraternity.
Yep.
It was really a good thing for me and good thing for Barry. And Ed Parker was my roommate
Oh, Ed,
at our
Ed was
first school.
a good man. Ed was a good man.
Oh, he was crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew him before Hiram Scott.
Really?
And I'm standing in the lunchroom. We had just gotten there, never been there. And all of a sudden I heard, Jonesy. I said, oh shit, that's Parker.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. And he was my roommate up at Rider College in near Trenton, New Jersey.
Sure.
We were roommates for a year. And of course, you know, what a character. What a character. It was an entertaining 1 year. And then, you know, to see him out there, meet all you guys, it's really, really a good thing.
It was a great experience.
It
Yes.
really was.
I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, one of
And
my,
how did you end up in Idaho?
I lived in California for 40 years. I moved from Chicago to there in 77 and
Where did you live? Where'd you live in California?
Ventura County. And I worked 40 years in construction, real estate development, and then retired 4 years ago. And Eileen retired 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years. And as soon as she retired, we got out of there. I mean, that's where you could make the money, but we wanted out. And we looked at Arizona and we looked at Nevada and we settled on this place in Idaho, and just so happy we did.
yeah,
You know, the number one state that people are going to now is Idaho.
I've never
Idaho
been-
is
Never
highest-
been in Idaho. I've been in Washington. I've been in Vancouver. I've never stopped there. I'd love to see it. It's beautiful country.
gorgeous. country.
Beautiful. You're always welcome. We got a guest room. It's just me and Eileen.
I
You have
had
children?
a good friend who was a realtor. You know, I've been a realtor the last 20 years, and he said, I've had it. And he headed to Idaho. So he's got an Idaho license, and he still has somebody down here who works for him with his clients here in Southern California. And it is the number one state in the union that people are going
Do
to.
you have children?
Yeah, I have a son and a daughter. You talking to me, Pete?
Yes, yes. sir.
Yeah, I have a son 33 and a daughter 37.
Oh,
So
God,
they're still down there. What's that?
They're youngsters.
Well, I didn't get married till I was 33 for the first time, and Eileen was 30 for the first time, so we started late.
You were smart.
Yeah.
I created it young, you know,
Yeah.
but my daughter's adorable and my oldest son is fine. But I have a younger one too.
Well, it's all beautiful. They make us
Yeah,
better.
yeah. We've all
So,
been blessed.
John, do you stay there all year round in Idaho?
Yeah, yeah. Where I'm at, we've got a little lake, and there's like 24 homes on this little pond lake. We have fires out there in the winter because, I mean, living in California for 40 years, this is refreshing, frankly. I like it. I wouldn't snowbird. Now, maybe if I was here 40 years, you know, I'd want out of here, but I'm loving it.
Oh.
Mm.
Okay.
So how far are you from like a major town?
We're 25 minutes from Boise.
Okay, that's not,
So,
so it's a suburb.
yeah. And it was a sleepy little town, but like Andy was saying, so many people have moved here. It is just unbelievable, the housing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Tennessee, Texas, Idaho, they're getting out.
Yeah.
Cops are a big thing for cops going up north in northern Idaho, up to I can't remember the name of the city, but if you
Sandpoint.
Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint.
Coeur d'Alene. Yep.
Yeah.
I gather the cost of living there is pretty reasonable.
It's reasonable, and it's like going back in time for manners and for the pace. And that's really nice. Now, I'm sure that's going to change with all of the transplants, but if you don't bring what your state was, and if you contribute to the community, you know, it is really refreshing. People wave to you, they talk to you, you don't see fences dividing yards. It's just amazing.
Nice, sounds very nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I think Idaho was my favorite place that I ever lived.
Outside of Twin Falls or in Twin Falls?
No, in Idaho Falls.
Idaho Falls. And did you say that you were skinning? What were you doing with deers? You were getting screwed. They gave you a few bucks. What was that?
That was, we used to go around to the after deer season, and people that had, you know, gotten their deer or elk and would skin it out, and the hide would just be laying in their garage, and we'd give them, you know, $1 for their hide and pick up a bunch of hides, take them out to the leather factory, and for every, I think it was 3 or 4 hides, they'd give us a pair of leather gloves. So we used to stock up, and we'd get 4 or 5 pair of leather gloves every year.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah,
That's funny. You did all the work.
yeah. Idaho was a great place.
Yes,
You
it
get a lot of
is.
snow up there, John?
Well, where I live, we get like an inch at a time, you know. In 17, I guess they had a snowmageddon. It was really bad, but generally where I'm at, I'm tucked away, but I can go 45 minutes away and ski on the little local one, and go 3 hours away and ski at Sun Valley.
Oh, nice, very nice. Do you ski? I mean, are you skiing?
I had a number of surgeries, so right now I'm not, but I'm getting back into golf, Bob, so there's hope for us. And I had 2 knees, a hip, and a back over a 2-month period.
Wow.
So, yeah, but I had that in California so that I could get the doctors I wanted, because I knew I was leaving. So it was not recommended, but I had a purpose in doing it that way. So
Yeah.
Did you have your knees replaced?
You definitely need to go see my Nuka guy.
yeah, I
You got
wrote it
one in
all
Idaho.
down. I wrote it
Yeah.
all down. What'd you say, Pete?
Were your knees replaced? Or-
I had 2 knees, 2 partial knee replacements and a hip on the same day.
Wow.
Whoa.
Heck.
My God.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I don't
You in a
recommend that.
wheelchair?
No, I don't either.
And then I had the back fusion with the pins and whatnot 2 months later. So
Oh, my God.
I am just probably over the last year getting, this was in October and December of 19. I'm just now getting this summer to where I could make 13 holes, you know, and I could get on the bike, and I could,
You really
you know,
beat your
there's some
body
hope.
up. You really beat that body up a little bit.
You know, I'm glad I didn't live on the couch, and so beating it up is okay, because we had fun.
Yeah.
I understand. I've had 11 surgeries.
Yeah. You win.
No, I don't want to win. I've had 11 of them and I don't want any more.
Yeah,
No more visits.
we don't want you to have any more.
No, thank you.
Hey,
Thank
Pete,
you.
where are you living now?
I'm in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I keep thinking I'm gonna go somewhere because I sold my business in October. And I have no place where I want to go because my life is here. My friends are here. My world is here.
You said you wanted to go to France.
Yeah, right. Good luck.
You did.
Yeah, but I don't speak the language. So I'm staying here. I'm gonna, yeah, I'll go visit. I'll head to Paris once in a while or head to Italy once in a while, but this is home.
Yeah.
Sounds like you should go to Idaho.
No, I want to go get out west. I want to go see the parks and I've never been in Idaho. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, the stretch up through Coeur d'Alene as you go north up Idaho, up through the Panhandle is beautiful country. I don't know if they have any more. They used to have an area where the Snake River would come down from the Columbia and called the River of No Return. And they had jet boats that you could get on and they would take you up between two mountains and drop you off on the other side for 2, 3, 4 hours.
Wow.
And that was the only way to get up there and out. And just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous country.
Wow.
I was fortunate, I got to do fishing on the Snake River. We were there twice and spent about a week each time on the Snake near a place called Lift-A-Latch Lodge. I don't think it's still there anymore. But and my dad took us out there. So he was taking 6 people. We get 2 boats and we go out with a guide and then we catch fish and then he would pull over to a place where he's familiar with it. They had a little some sort of fire and we had fresh fish from it. Pretty good, but that was back when I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
When I lived in Idaho Falls, the Snake River runs through Idaho Falls, and they also have canals that go throughout town. And one winter, when the ice breakup was starting to come, everybody got out of school in high school. Every male in high school got out of school because you had to go man the bridges and the other things to push ice, big chunks of ice away from the bridges so they wouldn't take them out and everything.
Wow.
3 days, it was wonderful, because you got to go to school.
Well, I love Washington also, the state of Washington. We went on a trip and hiked the Lewis and Clark Trail, and that I thought that was really pretty fabulous. So I guess I'm going to have to keep heading further west to get up to where you are.
Well, it's beautiful anywhere, Washington, Oregon, even though there's cities that can be challenging along the way. Idaho, Montana, a lot of beauty.
Yeah. Yep. I remember one time we went from Idaho Falls up to Missoula, Montana, and there'd been a big forest fire for about 30 or 40 miles, both sides of the road, nothing but burnt trees. And we came down into that valley in Montana, and it was rolling green grass and so forth. Never saw anything so beautiful in my life. But
Yeah, my son-in-law is from Missoula.
yeah,
He's happy here.
yeah, they had a great Chinese restaurant.
I
Yeah,
remember that.
You remember the food, huh?
Absolutely.
That's my problem with my Dunlap's disease, it's my belly Dunlap's over my belt. So
That's how I remember Seattle. I remember the restaurant, the Wild Ginger. It was fabulous. It was spectacular. We went with 6 other people after we went to wine country and stopped in Seattle, and it's just a fabulous town.
did you get to go up in the
Oh, of course. You mean what do you call that thing?
Needle.
The Needle, yeah. We
Needle?
did that. We even my friend and I even went to a Seattle Mariners baseball game.
Oh, nice.
We sat in the 4th row for $30 a piece. In New York, that would have cost $1,000.
Yeah.
probably. Yeah, Yeah.
You
I'm,
know,
but
I mean,
Peter, I'm going to see Elton John tomorrow night in Phoenix. I was gonna get, we were gonna get tickets in California. He's gonna be here next week.
I
And
thought he was done performing, Andy.
sorry,
I thought he was done
no,
performing.
this is supposedly his last tour. And
I heard about the last
whatever.
one was for him in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
But they were selling front rows or middle front row tickets for 10 grand a piece. That's what they were asking.
Yeah, and you bought 2 of those, didn't you?
I bought 6 of them.
He wants you to send some money, Pete.
Thank you, John. Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath.
Hey, Morris, I'm gonna sign off, but you
All
know,
right.
this has been amazing to see these faces and hear these voices. I look forward to the next one.
Well, John, what we do is, after the meeting, I'll, process the video and I post it up on the website, then send out a note for everybody to look at, but well, it's the first Thursday of every month normally at 8:00.
Okay,
Nice to see you, John.
Good to see
thanks,
you.
you guys.
Good to see you, John.
Good to see
See
you
you later,
guys.
John.
You be well.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna head out too. I got dinner's on the table pretty much. And so,
Say hi to Elton.
yeah, I'll say hi to Elton. If I get to meet him, sure. It's gonna be in Cardinal Stadium. It's gonna be crazy.
Well, enjoy it.
I did that one time with Tony Bennett. I went to a concert, a vendor took me. And afterwards or before the concert, we were given backstage passes to meet him. And so we went backstage and there were probably 25 people that were, from various corporations that brought in their clients to meet him. He walked in, said, hi, got to the other end. You could take a picture with him if you wanted. And he couldn't have been in the tent more than a minute and a half,
And he was gone.
So
Hmm.
I don't know that it was worth doing.
That was
All
fun.
right, guys. See you later.
Take care.
Hey, Andy.
Bye,
Gary,
guys.
are you in
Be
New
safe.
Jersey? Are you in New Jersey, Gary?
Am I in Jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Oh, God, I used to live there.
Yeah.
You had a girlfriend.
Well, you were in Voorhees, I believe.
Yeah, and then I lived in Cherry Hill. I had a girlfriend at the time. After my wife threw me out, and she had a house, and I was living in Cherry Hill. Yep. And then I decided she wanted to get married, and I decided I was going to escape as fast as possible.
Escape is a good word.
You remember her?
Oh, my God.
Whereabouts in Cherry Hill did you live?
It was off the Bridge Road. What is it called?
Route 70?
What's that?
Route 70?
Yeah, oh yeah. Right off
Okay.
Route 70 near.
Do you remember a diner called
Of
Ponzio's?
course.
I'm
Every non-sweating woman went there in a running suit.
I live about a half a mile from Ponzio's on
Oh,
Kings
God.
Highway.
I lived there for 2 years. For me, it was miserable because I wasn't happy with myself.
How many years were you there?
About 3 years.
3 years?
I wasn't real pleased.
Well, I've been in this house 47, so
Wow.
yeah. This was our starter home. And then I bought a bigger home in Barclay Farms, if you
I
remember
know
that.
is.
And that had more problems than this house. So I just invested in this house. And now it's perfect for the 2 of us.
Good for you. Good for
Yeah.
you.
So
Nice area. I wasn't happy with my life at that point, so it was hard to bring happiness to anything.
yeah, it's about 7 miles from Philadelphia. So
Yeah, I used to work, head over the Whitman Bridge every day into Philly.
yeah.
I had an office on Walnut Street.
Oh, I know exactly.
I was right on 15th and Walnut, right by the Butcher Singer building.
Wow. Because I used to work some of the time for Sunoco, Sun
Okay.
Oil Company,
Mhm.
and that was 1608 Walnut Street.
Wow, we could have bumped into each other at Susanna Fu.
We could have seen each other on the street, absolutely.
Hey, listen, Andy Abley's lived in New Jersey at one point, and he was working about 1.5 miles from where I was working, and neither one of us ever knew that the other one was there.
Well, the same thing happened, Mars, with you and
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
and a friend of mine. You live now about 1/4 mile
Yep,
from where Jim lived.
yep.
His name was Jim Phillips. I went with his sister for about 8 years, from about 7th grade on through college. And he lived right by you, the
Yep.
Wawa that you go to. How far is that from you?
1 mile.
And us riding our motorcycles on Wednesdays, we're always in that
Yeah,
Wawa
yeah.
before we go
Amazing.
out to eat. But
Is that who
yeah,
you
and we
work for?
never saw each other. And
No.
they're about, maybe he's 1 mile from you.
Yeah,
Is that who you work for?
he's
You work
across
for
the street from the
Susanna?
Wawa. And we're 1 mile from the Parkway.
He lived on 2nd Avenue, 2nd Street.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He now lives in near Annapolis, Maryland.
Okay.
That's a nice town.
Yeah.
Did you work for Sunoco, Gary, all those years?
No, actually, my father, out of high school, 1 week, got a job in the mailroom at Sunoco. And he put in 29 years, and he passed away when he was 48.
Wow.
And he was the head of the insurance department for all their trucking operations.
Uh-huh.
And the people that owned it were the Pew family, PEW. They were very wealthy, very well known. For my father's funeral, J. Howard Pugh, who was the chairman of the board, and his brother Janot came down to our house for the viewing. And he told my mother, if you ever need anything, call my office. And the chairman of the board, about 2 years later, she had looked for a couple jobs after my dad passed away. She said, I'm going back to Sunoco. So she gave Sun Oil a call and his office and told her who she was and what she was looking to do. About an hour later, they called her back and told her to report on Monday. Now, they didn't have a job for her, but they made one.
Nice.
And she worked there for 17 years. And I worked in the summers when I come home from school, high school and college. And yeah, so I know the whole family from that and on. And when I got out of Hiram Scott, eventually after Morris's dad and I were doing some business, I came home back to Magnolia, New Jersey. And I was looking for a job, and my mother's boss, who was the vice president of finance for the whole Sun Oil company, told her to tell me to call this lady at one of the banks, big banks then. It was called Gerard Bank.
Oh, of course.
And I went in for an interview. I got the job through Sunoco. But yeah, I was there for 8 years. And I said, this isn't for me. I want out. So I went into trucking. I said, I wasn't going back to work until I found what I wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
And transportation gave me everything. It gave me buses, planes, trains. You could do anything. And yes, it would always change. I could always talk to people. I didn't have to sit at a desk all day long.
Uh-huh.
It was an enjoyable 30, 35 years I was in the transportation business. But
It seems most of the guys that, at least that I've spoken to over the years, got out of Hiram Scott and have done pretty well.
Yeah, I
And
think you're right.
Barry,
It's
My
not like,
cousin-
it's not like it's Harvard or anything, but we all hung in there and did pretty well.
Barry, my cousin, he also went into banking. And he rose to be a vice president. And then his bank merged and all. And that's when he went into New Jersey, a couple guys and him put a company together, and that's what he was doing for.
You're not speaking of Barry Bodine, are you?
Sure, he's my cousin. He's my first cousin. He was. He passed away about a month and a half
I
ago.
know, I was sad about that. Did I ever tell you the story? One time when I was at the fraternity house and I was a pledge and Barry gave me the keys to his car. It was really cold out. It was really gosh darn cold. You remember Nebraska could be a little chilly.
Right.
And he told me to go out and start the car and warm it up. And he had those Rayco seat covers.
Uh-huh.
And I sat on them and they shattered.
No,
Yeah,
my
I was-
mother,
I was afraid to go back in the fraternity house.
my mother and his mother were sisters.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was my first cousin.
I
He-
like
he-
Barry.
He was actually
Very good.
nine months younger than me.
He was a good person.
Yes, he was. He was a great guy.
Yeah.
And I read his obituary, which I found fascinating. I mean, he did a heck of a job. I congratulate him. And
Yeah, I was just
I know
talking
who
to
you call that.
Chris's wife the other day, and she's doing okay.
good.
She's and his son, he had a daughter and a stepdaughter. His wife, and they're all doing well.
Good.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Good. I mean, shame he died so young. You know, everything looks a lot younger to me the older I get.
well, how old are you?
76.
76?
Uh-huh.
You were a youngster.
Well, how old are you, Gary?
I'm 78.
Oh, wow, that makes a big difference.
Yes, it does. You wait till you're my age. You'll feel different.
I
You'll
wish
look
I was
different.
John's age.
Yeah.
By the way, Sam Blades sent me a note and told everybody to say hi to everybody, so I forgot and I did now. His grandson had a football game changed from tomorrow to tonight because of the weather.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So otherwise he would have been here.
Look forward to speaking to him next time.
Yeah.
He said he
How
rode
about
across the
Stebbins?
Verrazano Bridge on his bicycle. I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Where's Stebbins? Have anybody heard from him?
No, I didn't hear from him this time.
Because Barry was the one that gave him a nickname. Do you remember what his nickname was?
Wow.
You
No.
asshole Stebbins? But that's, he said, and I forget what he actually did to deserve that name. But Barry, yeah, he used to call him, you asshole Stebbins. But
I don't remember that.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's so much I don't remember.
The first time, maybe I said it before, the first time we were flying out there to Hiram Scott, we got in on the plane in Philadelphia, Barry and I, and he's sitting next to me. He turns to me as the plane's going down the runway and he says, how in the hell did you ever talk me into this? Because we knew nothing about where we were going. So we landed in Denver. And then you had to switch to Frontier Airlines.
Oh, yeah.
To Scotts
And
Bluff.
take the puddle hopper, and it stopped at least 5 times.
Well, there was a priest sitting across from him in the aisle, and I was near the window. And he's reading the Bible and chanting. And Barry turns to me, he says, you think he knows something I don't? I mean, yeah, we had a lot of fun, and that's when we got to the cafeteria where we were all meeting because nobody had their luggage yet. And that's when I heard, who is it? Ed Parker yell out my name. And I said, oh, no, no.
How did you find the school?
You know, I sort of forget, but it was through a recruiter. And I don't know whether I got a letter from him that was going to have a meeting of a new school. And once I left the first school, I got a job. I was a wood refinisher with a company called JB Van Sciver, which was a big classy. They made furniture, they made bedding. They had 7 major stores, and I became a wood refinisher for about 2 years. And I said, this isn't for me. So I wanted to get back and get serious about getting a degree. And Barry had gone to Millersville, right there out by you, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And he got thrown out for drilling holes in floors and looking. And he and a couple other guys. So that's when he and I hooked up somehow with Hiram Scott. And it sounded like a pretty good deal. And it worked out. I can't complain at all with.
No, I have no complaints. I got a letter from the president. They wanted me to go down to Whitehall Street and head to Vietnam. And my mother said, if anyone was going to kill me, it would be her.
Well, here again, Morris and I, once I got through, you know, we knew we were going to get drafted. So we joined the Army Reserve down actually in Fort Collins.
Yeah.
And we were part of that until I came back to the East Coast, and I joined a 20, then it was the 1153rd USARF school. And I put 27 years in the Army. And so now
I unfortunately got a girl pregnant and got married.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't do that. And I met, who was saying something about skiing? They like, you like to ski?
Yeah, John.
John.
I like to ski.
Yeah, that's where I met my wife on a ski trip up in New Hampshire, Waterville Valley. And that's another story for another day, but you know, we used to go skiing all the time up there until the children came along, and you know, then the house, the money, and the whole bit. So
Yeah, I used to ski in Steamboat.
Steamboat?
Yeah, Steamboat, Colorado. I had a client that had a
Steamboat
house.
Springs, yeah.
He used to give me his house and his car when I'd fly out there, and we just walk up to the slope. It was easy. And
Yeah.
I used to take the bunny trail.
We used to go up to several different ski resorts up there. I belonged to I did at the time, South Jersey Ski Club.
Ah,
And they always had trips up. On Friday night, they would leave from Cherry Hill and go up. And then you'd ski Saturday, you'd ski Sunday. And then Sunday night, you'd come back.
you go into the Poconos, into Big Boulder and those ski resorts?
I didn't hear you.
Do you ever go into the Poconos to go into Big Boulder and?
No, I never skied the Poconos.
Yeah.
Here again, being part of the ski club, it was really reasonable. It was like $50 or $60 for the weekend with lift tickets
Oh, that's nothing.
to go up to New Hampshire, Vermont,
Wow.
and white face all the way up there and enjoyed it. We really had a good time. But I'm too old to do that too.
No, you're not. You can get going.
Not with my knees.
I understand. I get it.
Hey,
But
Bob,
no,
how did you wind up at Hiram Scott?
What was the football coach's name?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, he was also the golf coach, and I don't know, he got my name. I had gone to Point Park and played on their golf team, and it was a 2-year school at that time. He wanted to know if I wanted to come out there. And so I decided to just do a change of scenery, but my high school team was better than Hiram Scott's golf team. So I said, I'm not going to waste my time doing that. And so that's how I ended up there.
Good. What about you, John?
Me,
You?
yeah, I just ran out of schools to apply to, and Vietnam was calling, so
How did they find you?
I actually went to they had like a seminar or something at the Holiday Inn.
that sounds
Marinaccio
familiar.
was there and everything, and they actually had a food and stuff, and they talked about it. Sounded like it was okay, and I was desperate and
That
went
sort
out
of
for that
sounds
early
like what,
summer one, and
that's,
rest is history.
yeah,
I wasn't there,
that's
John,
how
but
I
it's
heard.
very familiar.
Yeah. it sounds familiar.
Actually, the lady on my draft board that ran my draft board called me and said, this was like a couple of days before I was enrolling at Hiram Scott. She said, we've sent you your draft notice. And I said, well, I'm out here in Nebraska and I'm going to be in school in 2 days. And she said, well, just don't go to your mailbox until you're enrolled in school, and then send it back to me and tell them you're enrolled in school. So they almost got me. And then
Yeah.
Jan saved me.
That's what happened to Gary and I. I had my friend at the University of Nebraska that I roomed with there. His mother called me and said, hey, or had Steve call me and say, Mom said to tell you she's on the draft board and your number is coming up, next month to go. That's when we decided to go join the reserves in Fort Collins.
Yeah. Anybody remember the in 1968 when they had the Congress of American Politics?
Yeah, I was responsible for the flags for that. I had to get a flag from each state capital.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to get a free flag from every state except Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania made it. I said to them, I'm from Pennsylvania. Every state has given us a free flag, but they charged us for it. But that was an interesting program.
Yeah, well,
That's the kind of thing that they provided.
yeah.
Hiram Scott provided. Also, Dr. Manley with his,
Yeah, it was great.
Oregon Trail. A lot of good things happened out there.
Yeah.
That I can remember, and I still got a lot of the stuff. Yeah.
I remember that with you, Gary. I think they did a lot of good things.
Yeah, I'm pleased.
Disappointed me most is that they failed.
Well, I parted ways at the University of Nebraska. Something about academics, you had to go to class or something.
Is that right?
It was August and my mother said, what are you going to do? Are you going to join the Army? What are you going to do? And I said, I don't know. And she said, well, I saw an ad in the paper from this college they're starting out in Scotts Bluff. And she showed it to me and she said, give them a call. So I called them and they accepted me on the phone.
I'm sure they did.
So then I went there the first year because Gary corrupted me. The first year I entered they let go a whole bunch of people the first year, and the second year, first semester, they sent me a letter and said, you have to have at least a 1.4 average in order to stay at the end of the semester. So obviously I was still heavily pursuing academics. And at the end I met Rosemarie. She made me walk to classes. She made me, she would walk with me and stay outside when I took a test to make sure I didn't leave. And at the end of the semester, I had a 141
Wow.
and stayed.
You were
I'll
working
tell you, the
hard.
best thing you ever did was meet her.
Yeah, absolutely.
That stopped you and me
Yep.
from,
I always said I ran out of beer money and, met her at the same time.
my word.
Wow.
And that was the best thing that ever happened to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I can't even say I was thrown out of anything. Nobody wanted me. You know?
Oh, Pete.
I'd like to say I was thrown out of someplace, but I wasn't doing well enough to be thrown out.
Yeah, well, I wasn't thrown out. They said, you got to go to class once in a while and take a test.
Well, I wasn't doing any of that either.
The nerve of them, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I was terrible. I was such an immature jerk.
Yeah, but no, we all made it. And you were right. I mean, there's a lot of people that did a lot of good things.
Yeah.
From that school.
Yeah.
And I don't, anybody know actually why they decided, besides bankruptcy, to end the school?
Well, they
I
did
mean,
it
obviously they ran out of
financially.
money.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they got all of their students because of Vietnam.
Right.
They either, the first year, like 99% of the kids had either flunked out or been thrown out of another school. And that's why there were all those fires and, all that kind of fun. But when Vietnam ended, or was winding down seriously and the draft was grinding down, they just couldn't get any more kids. When I went there the first year in 65, they were the most expensive school in Nebraska. You could go to the University of Nebraska for a year, room and board and tuition for $1,000. Hiram Scott was like $1,000 a semester.
Really?
Yeah, there were only about 4 or 5 kids from Nebraska that went there the first year. And they were all people like me that,
I didn't think it was that expensive.
yeah. Something up.
Yeah, I didn't think it was quite that expensive.
It was a lot more than the university.
Wow. Well, maybe that's why they were recruited from the Northeast a lot.
Absolutely.
A lot of us were from New Jersey and New York and Connecticut and wherever. And
Yeah.
Yeah, DC,
yeah,
Sav is from the DC area.
Chicago, Paul Shelton.
Yeah, no, Paul Sheldon was from Indianapolis.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Esposito and Villano were from New Jersey.
Yeah. Terry Riley was from New Jersey.
Yeah.
John DeLue.
John DeLue, I met him many years ago. He was working down here selling gym equipment or home gym equipment, exercise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing I remember most about John, and he was a good kid. I liked him. John would go to the store, the Madras shirts type thing. He would buy 4 or 5 of exactly the same shirt. So, he didn't have, you could wear a shirt, but he didn't, he just, everybody thought he wore the same clothes all the time. But he had like 4 or 5, 6 shirts of the same.
Herzog never worried about that sort of thing. He used to pile all his laundry in a duffel bag and hang it on the top of the bunk bed.
Yeah.
So it would smell you out of the room.
Yeah. Do anybody remember Jimmy Sullivan?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Jimmy was my roommate the first year I was there, and in Skinner Hall, and and went through, and good kid. And eventually he left Hiram Scott. And fast forward, and I may have told you this before, fast forward, 30 years. I was going to my office in New York, and I would see this guy that was a guard by the escalators. And one day I took a closer look at him and I walked over to him and I said, Jimmy? And he says, yeah, Morris, hi. It was Jimmy Sullivan.
Really?
Yeah,
Anybody know what happened to it's a Sedlak?
no,
Like Sedlak.
yeah, I remember him, but
No.
I always wondered what happened to Paul Hazel.
Yeah, I would love to know what
he's
happened.
probably still in college someplace.
I mean, he was on the Lifetime plan when he was at Hiram Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had to be, he was probably 30 then.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was a character. He really was a character. I liked him.
yeah. Yeah, no, we had a good group.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
We did.
What year did they finally, what happened to the TKE fraternity when the school closed? Did that automatically disappear?
Yeah,
I have a feeling it did. I mean, there's no school, no
I
fraternity.
mean, did they have to?
Somebody shipped me about 5 big cartons of trophies and books and all that stuff, and
Really?
I got rid of it eventually.
Mhm.
I hauled it to about 3 different moves.
when you guys had the reunion in the 70s at Atlantic City,
Yes.
put together a alumni, TKE alumni booklet, and you
Right.
were president of that, Bob.
No, I wasn't there.
I
No,
wasn't
but you
there.
were
I
president of the
didn't know
alumni,
that.
TKE alumni.
Who put it together was actually Mike Bollinger, myself, and Barry. And that was it. This is before the casino. It was at the Holiday Inn. Yeah, I have 2 of them.
Yeah, but this one lists
If
Bob Brown
anybody
as
needs
president.
one, I'll send it to you, but yeah. We
I
had,
didn't even know about that.
we probably had about 30 to 40 guys. And they're
We
all-
took over that place.
Huh?
We took over that Holiday Inn.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah, we had fun.
That was a very, very well done thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was.
In the mornings would be upstairs, up in the top drinking with Bloody Marys.
Oh, you started drinking early to get ready.
Hey, Bob,
Nobody else could go in the pool.
I don't know if you can see this not, but it's Bob Barreau president and Sav Grimaldi was the secretary in January 20th, 1976 to January 19th, 1978.
Boy, I don't remember that.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah,
What's that, the Alumni Association?
yeah, that's the Alumni Association book.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We tried to get a hold of everybody.
Does it say where that was printed, Morris?
I don't know, let me see.
Can't believe you still have it, Morris.
It was issued in February 1st, 1976. And
So I was living in Boston.
yeah, special thanks to Donna Klimas. I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Never heard the name.
Here you go, Marsh.
Yeah, same thing.
Yep. Got 2 of them.
Yeah, that way you can read it with one each eye. Yeah, I was looking for a date, Bob, but
This was well, yeah.
on one page here, it says issued 11/15/75. Andy Hawkins address. Different people.
Yeah, handbook 1975.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, you were the boss.
We've never heard from Andy Hawkins again, have we?
No,
I wonder if he has electricity up there in South Dakota.
yeah, there are about 25, 26 guys on the list that when I send the email out, that I
Yeah.
sent to everybody.
Yeah,
But, you know, at least 14 of them, they must get the emails because I never get a bounce back, you know, on anybody. But for like Ron Herzog, for one reason or another, they choose not to.
I've contacted him 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
I think we
Andy
should-
never returns my texts, never.
He doesn't return my emails either.
I'll be right back. I gotta do something. You're
All right. But,
I think we should put together a reunion somewhere in New Jersey or somewhere in Ohio, somewhere that's mid-range to everybody.
yeah,
I thought we were gonna go back to Scotts Bluff.
I'll go back.
yeah, I would go. I would go.
So would I.
Yeah, there's even handwritten pages to this thing that are, you know, somebody hand wrote. I don't know who wrote them. But, and I've gone through and tried to look up people, you know, like Terry Riley, but I couldn't find him. But somebody put a lot of work into it. Bob, you did a good job.
I was amazed to see.
I don't think it was me.
I was amazed to see Brock, who's in such bad health.
Yeah, but you know what? I thought he looked better tonight than he did, you know, like in maybe August when we met.
Oh, he was on earlier?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry I missed him.
yeah.
Do you remember a guy by the name of Folks?
Of course.
Curtis.
Curtis Folks, yeah.
Yeah,
Do you remember
absolutely.
him? Oh, I'd like to see him again.
Yeah,
Football player.
yeah.
Wrestler. No, he was a wrestler.
He was from upstate New York, wasn't he, Bob?
He was from Rome, New York, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
But he played on our football team, our flag football team.
right.
He was pretty good.
Yeah,
But he was a hell of a wrestler.
Nice guy.
yeah.
Yes, he was.
I've
I don't-
never spoken to Paul Shelton either.
I don't think he stayed there that long. I don't think he
No,
graduated.
no, he was there like the first year and then gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Well, I was having some level of success, so I wasn't leaving so fast.
yeah. Well,
I was a little bit afraid.
so
So
John,
what's John's last name?
Oh, young lady.
John who?
How are you?
John from Utah,
Oh, I'm doing.
Idaho.
Idaho. That's like.
Archibald.
John Archibald, Idaho.
That's John Archibald. God,
Yeah, from Idaho.
I would never have recognized him.
Yeah,
I told John I thought he looked better now than when he was at school.
I agree.
He looks good.
He
Yeah.
does. He does. I
Thank
agree
you.
with
You look the same, John.
The fellow
Is
always-
that good?
the fellow always looks the same, man. The son of a bitch doesn't look like he gets older. Except that he feels like he's 100.
I'm rotten from the inside.
Yeah,
Ah,
I think we're all doing that, John.
that's because of your healthy diet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a bunch of grandchildren now.
2.
That's a bunch.
That's,
That's a bunch. I only have one.
Yeah, all
And
right,
I started well before you.
yeah. Well, my second grandson committed to the University of Illinois. And I was
Good for him.
very happy he did. He
Great
was
stuff.
out, they had him come out for their last football game that they lost. But he's excited about going there and playing.
Good.
Yeah.
You play there.
They're you got a good coach there. They'll get that program going.
Yeah, but he personally calls Zach, you know, frequently, like he called him a couple of weeks ago and said, listen, I want to know we're going to be bringing in, you know, a couple of transfers. He said, but I don't want you to get worried. You were our number one recruit when we started this process. You still are. You have a place here. Don't get worried. And if anybody else contacts you, you know, tell them to talk to me.
Ah,
Um,
so he's well thought of.
yeah, so he's going to the right place.
I wonder what's wrong with the University of Nebraska. Their football team has been awful.
Well, you know, he went out there, he went out there, you know, they brought him out for an interview or, you know, recruiting trip. And I went with him and his dad. And 2 days before we got there, they fired their offensive coordinator and their, you know, offensive line coach and the assistants. And they had no idea of what they were doing. I mean, you know, we had a good recruiting trip and so forth, but they had no idea of what they're doing. And I think it continued that way for, you know, another year. And I like Scott Frost, you know, as a guy, but he wasn't a good coach.
I don't know. You know, he did well when he was at, was it UCF he was?
Yeah, but he was only there 2 years. And the second year was when they went undefeated and so forth. And he even, you know, mentioned one time, I saw him in an interview and he says, well, you know, and admittedly, he said, we recognized that we had some really great talent there. And they just needed, you know, a few things. And because they were talking about how come, you know, asking him, you know, how come you were so successful there, but you haven't been here? And he said, well, players is one of the differences. He said, we recognized that we had some great talent, you know, but, and I liked him a
Yeah.
lot, but as a coach, they were all over the place.
Well,
Yeah,
college-
Florida's got so many good football players that you can stumble on players and put a team together. They got so many good players in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure it's much harder in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Well, they recruit from everywhere, don't they, Bob?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be the toughest part of college football is that you've got to keep recruiting and
Yep.
selling your school to get these kids out there.
Yeah.
Now you've got the portal. If they're not playing, they're gone. So
Right,
your roster's constantly turning over.
right, exactly. They can move on to another school.
We've got a kid on, there are 3 high schools in my town, but one of them has a football powerhouse. And when Penn State was up here, the coach is from Penn State, is his name Franklin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he comes the weekend he's up here to play Michigan. He comes in on a helicopter flying in and lands next to the stadium to come over and see this kid. But he's like, I don't know, 6'6", 6'7". He's a junior this year. But
Yeah.
I think he would like to go to Michigan, but I don't think he's good enough to play at Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, Michigan
School
always
that
takes extra
Zach went,
football.
yeah, school Zach went to is a football school, is a private school, but you know, he goes out, they've been undefeated the last 2 years. Typically when they win a game by 40 points. You know, and he has a showcase in the spring. And typically over 3 days, he'll get 35 D1 coaches coming in to look at the kids.
Yeah.
He's just a factory.
Football is tough. You need players. And
Yeah.
hey, speaking of players in football, John, I think you're starting to understand how my Giants felt all these years.
John, Peter, it's just a hiccup. It's just a little hiccup.
What's that?
It's just a little hiccup.
Are we talking about the Steelers or the Lions?
No, we don't even consider the Lions a professional football team. I think Michigan could give them a run for their money.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure of that, but I think you're possibly right. But I think the Steelers have fallen on a hard time.
They
They're
have.
falling apart.
Yeah.
It's a momentary hiccup. I'm telling you.
Yeah, a hiccup. Yeah.
John, I'll
Yeah.
send you paint if you want. I'll give you $30 for your season tickets.
I don't have them anymore. My daughter does.
Ah,
Oh, really? It's hard to play without a quarterback, an offensive line, and a decent defense. Other than that, they're good.
Yeah,
They need a new offensive coordinator and,
No, they need an offensive line, a quarterback that would really help, and maybe a defense that could hold its own.
no,
Other than that,
Is that all?
they've got a defense. They've just got two major guys hurt. They need an offensive line
Hmm,
and
uh-huh,
that'll get the running game going again.
yeah, okay.
They
I
got the
hope
right.
Bob's right.
You're
They
in
got
for
the
a
right-
major rebuild for the next 5 or 10 years.
What?
5 or 10 years. You're in for a major rebuild in Pittsburgh.
In 5 years, no, in 10 years, I'll bet you the Steelers have more wins than the Giants.
In 10 years, I'm lucky if I'm alive.
Well, that's why I was willing to make that bet because I'm
Oh,
not
He's
thinking I'm gonna be
banking
here.
on that.
So you
Any of
tell
us-
Diane to pay off then, Bob.
Oh,
What's that?
tell my wife, he was saying, tell Diane to pay off. Well, who's gonna keep you alive to collect? I think you're a year
Oh.
or two older than me, aren't you?
Am I older than you?
Yeah.
I'll be 78 in
That's
January.
what I thought. You're a year and a half older than us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So who's keeping you alive?
Probably ice cream and cookies.
Yeah.
yeah.
You
There you
all have a lot more behind us than in front.
Yeah.
I think we should have a reunion somewhere in the Northeast, somewhere where we can all get to easily. But I'll go to Hiram Scott or out to Scotts Bluff, I should say. But the one thing I've always been grateful for is I was never in the tub.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that.
Oh, God, I'll never forget that because they asked me if I wanted to go in after the first summer. And I said, what are you, crazy? I'll never forget that. I'd rather be 4 guys in a little room and skin a hole than be in the tub.
I actually had my mother only pay half of my tuition.
Why?
When they asked me to go in the tub, I says, okay, I'm not gonna go because you're not gonna get the other half of the tuition.
Well, that's
That
what
was
she said.
Faust. Remember Faust?
Yeah,
Yeah. He wanted me to go in there. He said, we need older guys to settle the thing down. I said, I'm too old to do that. I said, you're not gonna see the other half of the tuition unless I go and get a dorm.
I don't blame you. You know, there was no way you'd get me down there. I remember when that thing was built and it was opened and it was such a fiasco.
Yeah.
I'll never forget Crystal. She was a black girl out there.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
first
I
wa-
remember Crystal.
You remember Crystal?
Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
We walked into the tub and she looked around and she went, my God, can you imagine when the lights go out? Mass masturbation.
She said that?
Crystal, yep.
I wonder what happened to her. She was a good girl.
Have no idea.
And then there was Sharon Shefto or something, or what the hell was her name? She was up from Scranton somewhere. She was a piece of work too.
Anybody remember, what was her name? Called her Toys in the Attic. Susie, somebody.
Sandy.
No,
Susie.
Susie, yeah, Susie,
Well,
yeah, I don't remember her last name.
yeah, well,
All
I
right.
do.
well,
Take care, guys.
guys,
Yeah, I'm good.
we'll
Okay.
wrap it up and,
Bob,
Look
by the
forward
way,
to seeing you guys next month.
yeah, it'll be the first, Thursday of, in December.
Okay, I'll get your email.
First Thursday of December is the 1st of
you'll send
December.
out an email, I assume.
Yeah, I'll send out a note.
Okay,
Bob, I got a nice note from Dan about my retirement.
Oh,
Okay.
good,
That was
Good.
very nice. That was very nice.
good.
It was nice to hear from her.
Yep, she's, I see her 2 or 3 times a year. She comes down. She lives in northern Michigan now.
Yeah, she told me that.
Yeah,
Is she doing well
yeah, she's doing real well. Yep.
or? Good, she
Yep.
was a nice lady.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay,
Hey,
we'll see you
Hey,
guys.
John, could you send me out some Isley's chipped ham, barbecue chipped ham, please?
They sell it here all the time, yeah.
Well,
Huh?
I'm gonna go after.
They have stacks of the sauce too, the barbecue sauce.
I'm gonna go after Herzog and insult him enough to make him come on to the next one.
You
Yeah.
couldn't do that.
I will do that. I will do
He
that.
can be the honored guest.
I will do that.
Tell him we have an award for him.
See if you can
Yeah, I
get
got the-
Hawkins.
I have the son of a bitch's money, so he'll take my call.
See if you
Don't
can
send him
get
a check.
Hawkins.
What's
All
that?
right, good night, guys.
Bye,
Okay.
yeah.
See if you can get Hawkins.
Yeah, good luck with that. I don't know if they have phone service up in South Dakota. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
Hang in there, guys. Nice to
Hang
see you.
in.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, we'll see you guys.
Okay, same to you. Have
Take
a good
care.
night.